So this is probably the number one question I get asked is, okay, I'm going through, fill in the blank, something very stressful and adult-like, which is hard to fully, and not really appropriate to fully disclose to your child. Should I tell my kid? Okay? So, the thing is, you can't not tell your kids because they know. They already know. If someone tells you otherwise, I will say very strongly, I think that's bad advice. If they say, oh, tell them things are fine, because what we know about the brain, again, with mirror neurons, is kids feel what we feel. So if you're going through something big, for those of you who lost your home, it's okay. Or if you're going through a divorce, or you're going through a major medical issue, to share with them, but in an age-appropriate way. Now that's the kicker, right? What does that actually mean? What it means is as minimal as possible, because the truth is they don't really want to know details. What they want to know is you're handling it, and you're going to be okay, which means they're going to be okay. They don't want to know all the details. So that's the inappropriate part, of sharing the details. But you can tell them the general subject. So we're going to practice this because I think this is the most essential thing that I want you to leave here with tonight, because whether it's losing your home in the fire, going through a divorce, whatever upcoming stress might occur, if you can leave home with this, that's going to be a real tool that you can use every day, right? So this is basically the template. And I give you a template. Of course, you want to make it in your own words as it becomes more comfortable. But here's something that's just helpful. I know this is hard for you. I want you to know that it's not about you, and I'm working on finding a solution. Those three things. You're acknowledging their feelings, okay? You're making sure they know it's not about them, because kids they're just developmentally narcissistic in the fact that they believe that everything is about them. If you're upset, they think it's about you, no matter what. Even if it's illogical, of course it's not about you. I just got fired. I'm just having a bad day. It's not about you. They always think it's about them because they're that connected to us neurologically and emotionally. Just the energies are so close. And then I'm working on finding a solution is really important. Just like in the last step of the apology, we want to give the kids the power. In this step, we need to make sure that our kids know we're working on it. We've got it covered. And what does that tell them? That's going to be okay. And that they don't have to work on it for us. Anecdotally, of the kids that I've seen over the years, more than 60% of the kids I've seen that have anxiety disorders are really mirroring what's going on with their parents. Because they don't have this part. They don't know about this part. It's not about you, and I'm working on finding a solution. So they have this energy that they're receiving in their family, and it just gets stuck because they don't understand how to handle it, how to process it. It's not always the case, but it's more often than not. And you're going to practice in 1 minute. Let me just add this couple other little things. There's also some internal talk that we do, which is really unhelpful, and this is some CEO coaching advice as well. Oftentimes when we talk about how we're angry, we say something made us angry, right? That's sort of the way we use our English language. Is that true in Spanish as well? Right? Like you're this thing that's being done to, right? It's very disempowering. So I encourage you, especially around your kids, to even exaggerate this point. I felt mad because I forgot that this person was this way and still interacted with them. So I'm mad at myself, right? You see how different that feels than this person made me feel mad, right? It's changing it from a victim mentality to a place of you actually do have control. So that's the language that we use with our children is programming. And then I did have a little caveat in cases of divorce, or if you're not getting along with your spouse or your partner, you can't talk about it with your child at all. That's the exception. There's always an exception. That's the exception. And then in that case, I recommend that you still be honest, but make up something else to say about it. Well, let me. Thank you. So let me tell you what I mean by that. So let's say if you're getting a divorce and you really are not happy with your wife, okay, and she's really being awful, and you're carrying that at home, because how can you not? It just doesn't go away. Divorces, like recovering from a fire, are a long-term thing. So you come home with this energy. So you would say something like, first of all, you think of what else in your life is unpleasant, and then use that as an example instead. You know, it was a really stressful drive.
But that's not really what's making me.
Yeah, it's not about you, and I'm working on it. Okay, but this is why it's so different with parents, because children are you're actually 23andMe says you're like 51% me, right?
No, I'm 51% Irish.
51% Irish and 51% me. So the thing is, the kids internalize everything bad we say or don't say about the other parent. This isn't a class on divorce or co-parenting, but I just had to mention that. There's lots of things in your life that cause you stress. You're not lying, but you don't have to share that piece that is about them. Okay, so let's go ahead and practice sharing about your stress in an age-appropriate way with your partners. Now, because we learn by doing more than we learn by seeing, but we also learn by seeing, can I have 2 volunteers, or 3, if you're so inclined, to come up and share your sharing? Yay, thanks, Mark.
All right, here you go. Today I felt stressed because I had a deadline, which I still have. A deadline. And so I had to sort of do a lot of writing, and I think a little bit irritable because I was anxious about not getting that writing done. So I wanted you to know that if I was acting a little irritable, or more irritable than normal, that I'm working on being anxious by trying to be more organized and calibrate my expectations.
All right, thank you.
You didn't even know that yourself, did you?
How did you feel hearing these stating of feelings?
Do you relate to those feelings?
Understanding. Empathy. What is it? Caring? Caring, yeah. It made me connect to Mark a little more, right? When that part, the vulnerable part, right? But then also knowing that he's gonna handle it made me feel like, okay, I don't have to take care of him. Who knows who felt that as well?
Nobody's going to take care of me?
Oh, you can always leave out that part with whoever you need. So you understand why this is the last piece I'm working on this by is so important for your kids. Who here, well, I won't ask you to raise your hand, but nod your head. How's that? Nod your head so I can see if you've ever felt like you needed to take care of your parent in one way or another with how they're feeling. Right? Because you love them, anyone you love so much. It's hard, it makes you suffer to see someone suffer. And this is why this is why we have an opioid crisis right now. Doctors aren't overprescribing because they're terrible people. They're overprescribing because it's painful to see someone in pain, even if you don't know that person very well, but especially when you love and know that person well. But when you know they've got it covered, then you can do your life and know that they've got themselves covered.